If you've been wondering where I've been, if you haven't caught on already, this is my story. So stay tuned. Hello, everyone. To all of you who are new here, my name is Pamela, aka Zanpam. And those of you who know me, welcome back to my channel. And I know it's been a hot minute since I've been here. It's been over a year, but I can explain. Okay, so this is going to be quite a difficult conversation to have, but it needs to be had. And I feel like I owe it to those who've been following me for years, especially from Facebook onto my transition onto Instagram and now YouTube and hopefully TikTok. Um, it hasn't been easy. It's been one hell of a roller coaster ride the past year and a half because I've been going through a lot and we're about to get into it. So I wrote down a few notes because it's quite a mouthful, and just please bear with me if I keep looking down. I'm just going to try to keep it at eye level so that we don't lose each other. But essentially, I just wanted to say that the silence wasn't just about taking a break. It was really me stepping back, reflecting on my life, taking a break from a version that no longer fit me, a version that was suffocating me, not allowing me to breathe. And, if you've been wondering where I've been, if you haven't caught on already, this is my story. So stay tuned. So, my separation from my husband began in January 2025. But in all honesty, from last year, 2024, already, I was starting to feel the pressure. I'm a highly sensitive person, so I feel a lot. And something just kept telling me this is not it. I was starting to take stock of my life, and there were certain things that were getting magnified that made me feel like this cannot be it for me. And so in all of that, I also lost my spark. I gained so much weight. I had a disconnect, and I wasn't really up for anything anymore. I didn't want to do anything. I just didn't want to show up for anything, even for myself. I was in a very depressive state in all of that. And the reason for that are many. And this is why it led to me finally choosing myself and my daughter, because I have a young child who is watching me, who is looking at me, and I had to decide for myself and her to just step away. And more about how it all happened will come because I plan on making this a series. So please make sure that you are subscribed, that you have your notification bells on, because I'm taking you with on this ride. It's an emotional one. I'm at a much better place right now, but 6 months ago I was going through the most. And that is typically what happens when you're dealing with a master manipulator, a narcissist, and an abuser. And I just want to clarify that I was never physically abused by him, but emotionally I was, mentally a whole lot. And even verbally towards the end. I had long wanted to start a mental health series on my YouTube, but I never got to that. I had so many plans for my YouTube, I had so many plans for my social media. At some point, I had even started coaching, but I had to step away from that as well because I couldn't teach other people how to stay positive and eat healthy, be healthy, and do affirmations when I myself was in a rut. So the reason for that, as well as I mentioned before, was because of the marriage I was in. It was like a yo-yo type of thing where one minute he was very supportive of what I'm doing, what I want to do, my vision and everything. I remember we would sit down and just brainstorm everything together. At some point, he was even helping me with vision boards and all of that. But at the same time, there was a side to him that was confusing because he was always commenting about my social media presence, about me wanting to be on YouTube and speak to people. He even had issues with me being in therapy at some point, even accusing me of cheating with my psychiatrist. And, when I think of it now, it's funny, but it was a lot. So that is essentially the type of relationship I was in. And I would be lying to say that it was all bad. Most of you have seen that we had amazing times together. It was great. But when it was bad, it was bad. And I started to feel like I'm being caged because even a simple lunch with my girls was a problem, let alone going out at night. And that was a lot. And when you would see me out with friends or out with friends, maybe for dinner or for lunch, or even in another country, like traveling with my friends, just know that I had to suffer greatly for it because I would get threatened, being told that I don't want to spend time with my family, although I spend time with them every day. I was told that I'm not ready to be in a marriage, I'm not ready to be a mother. Even my residency here would get threatened. And it started to feel like I was being caged in. It started to feel like every time he would give me something, he needed to remind me that he can take it. And for a while, I feel like you tolerate it because maybe your visions align, but it gets to a point where you realize that as I grow, because of the age gap as well, as I grow, I'm growing apart from this version of his that he was feeding me. And mind you, this is someone that I've known for 14 years now. 13. So we met in 2012 and I was 21. And there's a large age gap, which we will get into at some point. But so that is essentially what was going on. And that is why I had these waves of motivation where I would be on social media, posting consistently, being present. And there were moments where I would just disappear. It was because of the situation I was in. Because, I'm with my husband and he has to help me take content as well sometimes. And sometimes he would plainly say, no, he's not in the mood for it. He doesn't want to do it. And although I had gotten equipment to be able to film myself, he would make sure that he puts me in such SHIT mood and just demotivate me. And those are the things that I want to talk about because there's so many layers to everything that was happening. And because you're dealing with a manipulator, it takes a while for you to see it. So once again, stay tuned. It's going to be quite interesting to unravel and take you along with me on my healing journey. I'm much better. I'm doing much better now, but I am nowhere near where I need to be. So, yeah, essentially where I am right now, I'm just me, rediscovering myself. A lot of things are scary because this is my first time living alone in a long time. And it's my first time ever living alone with a child in a foreign country. So it's a lot to digest and take in. That's why I took my time with announcing this. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to take you with me on my healing journey. Because I've taken you on my journey to, finding love and getting married and all of that, and sharing the beautiful moments that I had with my husband and my family. And, although a lot of people were like, no, no, you don't have to talk about it, don't tell anyone. I feel it's my story to tell, and I get to decide whether I want to share it or not. And I felt it in me. I've had long conversations with my therapist as well about it, if I should be doing this or not. And it was encouraged. She said, it's a great idea. Take you along with me, and because social media is something that I've always wanted to do, is something that I've always been passionate about. I'm passionate about a lot of things, but most of all, empowering people. I feel that's what I'm called to do. So that's why I made this decision to finally share my story, because I know that with every video, at least one person is going to get the clarity that they need. And that alone makes me so happy and so grateful. It gives me some kind of purpose as well. I feel, I don't know how to put this because a lot of people think I'm messing around with them, but I actually gained so much weight because when I started therapy back in 2023, after a work situation, which again I didn't get to speak about because I had to take this long break, but it's all coming. I I was in depression and I was on antidepressants, and I was in a very bad and dark place. So I gained about 15 kilograms. I'm seeing a nutritionist and I'm starting to get on this healthy eating, clean eating, working out journey, which I would be so happy to share with you guys. But also just showing you the real and raw side of things, not only showing up looking good, but also showing you how it is, how divorce and separation goes in Switzerland, how it works, and what I've had to learn and relearn and also unlearn about day-to-day life in general. So I'm not going to take up much of your time. This was me essentially saying that I'm back. I'm not where I would like to be. I haven't reached my glow up, but I'm getting there, and I'm inviting you to share this journey with me. There's a lot that I still want to share, traveling again, and hiking, doing things that I've always wanted to do but couldn't or didn't because of where I was, because of the influence. I also don't want to fully blame said person, but I feel like as I speak more about it, about this topic, on top of everything else, it will begin to gel together and make sense. So this is me. I'm a single mom now. It's quite an interesting journey. It's been eye-opening, and it's also been healing, honestly speaking, because I also walked away from the marriage because of my daughter, and we are having mixed moments, I would say. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it isn't, but we are both finding our rhythm. She understands the whole situation. I spoke to her before everything happened, and she's aware. It's funny because I didn't think that a 4-year-old would be able to grasp all of this, but she gets it. There was also a time when she asked me if I'm happy now, because I look happy now that daddy is gone. And I said, yes, I actually am. And she's like, yeah, and I like that we get to spend more time together, that I get to sleep with you in your bed and we can cuddle. You know, things like that. That is what brings me joy right now, that I get to spend more time with my daughter and that she appreciates what I've done for both of us. So I'm just inviting you to like this video, send it to someone who you think it would resonate with, because what is to come, it's going to be quite interesting, because I'll be sharing story times as well, how it all began, dating back from 2012 and what happened after, because that was the hardest part. I thought the hardest part would be leaving, but the hardest was the aftermath, because you begin to realize that you probably were a fool to have fallen for someone who even speaks to you in a certain way. So I'm ready and I'm back, and I'm excited to share this new journey with you. I love you guys so much, and thank you to everyone who's been patient. Thank you to everyone that I've spoken to about this and has been nothing but supportive. A lot of you kind of know bits and pieces of this, of how my marriage was, and I've heard nothing but encouraging messages from those who know, those who are watching from a distance, and it's really empowering. I love where we are at right now, especially as women, because we don't stay for the sake of the family or the children. We don't stay just because we're afraid what other people are going to say. I see a lot of women, especially my age, and some that I've grown up with, who are choosing themselves, and big ups to you. I'm proud of you, and I hope I make you proud as well, because scary as it may be, it's also exciting. So I'll see you in the next video, and yeah, let's connect. So if this resonates with you, please feel free to write me in the comments, in the DM. Let's chat. Let's build a community of women who choose themselves, because I also don't like being called a strong woman, although I am, but I don't want this label attached to me. And there's actually something that I've already written. I've already written a script for this, where I talk about why I don't like being called a strong woman. And there's also so many clips and snippets that you can see on the internet, where they really speak about, where women speak about not wanting to be called a strong woman anymore. So with that, I say goodbye, and I say see you soon. And this is not going to be a long goodbye anymore. I'll see you very soon. I'm already working on my next video, because it's going to be a playlist, a series. And let's get this done together. Thank you so much. I love you. Bye.